Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the range. Tom here, and today we're doing this 1962 Chevrolet pickup truck. By far, one of my favorite castings for a pickup truck. Now, I've been looking everywhere for these, finally found them, but unfortunately, I had to buy them in a six-pack. Couldn't find any individual ones. So, why don't we go ahead? Let's see what I'm going to do with this. I know it's been a while, guys, and I do apologize for kind of being on a hiatus. My first video back in quite some time, I should say. So I wanted to do a custom pickup truck. Yeah, what better way to go than with a 62 Chevy? Like I said earlier, by far one of my favorite pickup truck castings. I've always liked this body style. I've always liked this year. When it comes to the trucks, the 60s were always the best looking trucks, honestly. I'm going to be using some parts from this Muscle Machines car. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a Chevelle or something. I can't remember. But at first I was going to use the wheels and the pipes. I ended up not using those, but I ended up using the engine. And you guys know me. I like doing these big style engines on my vehicles. So I'm going to end up using that engine, but not the wheels. Had to do a little bit of, kind of mocking up here and there, kind of just seeing how things are going to fit, like I always do. It's been a while, so I'm kind of hoping I still got, my kind of thing, the custom stuff. I built a couple of cars off camera. Haven't really finished any of them. Been having some problems with my airbrush or my compressor or something. I don't know exactly what's going on. Like I bought a brand new airbrush, but for some reason it's not kicking out. It's clogging up way too early. I've been mixing the paints just right. It's just, I don't know why. It's just like barely can get to use it. It could be my compressor's not pushing out enough air. I don't know. I've emptied out the tank. I've emptied out, the little water thing, I guess, condensation thing up. But nothing seems to be working. Above that, every time I go to do a gloss clear coat, it ends up cracking the paint. Paint ends up cracking and it doesn't look good. So I've been kind of having paint issues. It's not that I haven't wanted to do any customs. It's just I've been having problems with the paint. So you guys are probably wondering, okay, if he's having problems with the paint, what does he do with this one? Well, you're just going to have to wait and find out. Because I didn't use any airbrush. I actually hand painted this. As you can see here, the hood's already cut out for the big old engine that I got from that Muscle Machine. I really like this engine. I really wanted to use it with something like this. But anywho, back to the paint. Yeah, I don't know what, I think that kind of just been putting me in a down kind of mood, not being able to paint anything. So yeah, that's kind of, I got a bunch of cars that I've been trying to put together. It's just as soon as the paint goes to dry and starts cracking or whatever, kind of puts me in a foul mood, and I just kind of stop. But like I said, it's been a while, so I'm getting back into it. I had a big old motivation for this custom that I'm wanting to do, and had all these parts laying around. I went to a flea market, found those Muscle Machines, found a bunch of other cars. I found a couple Muscle Machines that I like the motors on. May or may not use the wheels, don't know yet. But yeah, I kind of went shopping and found a bunch of cars I wanted to do stuff with. So that's kind of what made me want to get started on this truck. So I had a little info from my dad. I asked him, I was like, well, what kind of custom should I do? I brought out the 62 Chevy. I brought out a 67 Chevy. I brought out, there was another truck, but I can't remember what it was. I gave him a couple options, and he goes, what's the oldest out of them? I was like, the 62 Chevy. He goes, we'll do that one. I was like, all right, And, it's been a while since I've done a custom, other than just kind of throwing it up on Instagram every now and then, like my police car Camaro, that custom pickup truck with the dish wheels, that kind of thing. It's been a while since I've done a custom. So I wanted to get back out there. I wanted to build a new custom, try to get back into the hobby. I do apologize in advance for the final result video footage. It's kind of, can't really see the paint all that well. It's kind of a dark picture. So I'm going to try to figure out about getting like a different kind of desk lamp or something that will make it brighter where the video footage is better. So you see I'm doing a lot of modifications, a lot of, styrene, well, not a lot, but some styrene. I had this tow truck piece. I can't remember what it's from, but you guys probably remember. If you guys remember what casting that tow truck portion of it came from, let me know in the comments. I'm building the frame, as you guys already figured out, I'm doing a tow truck. Yeah, I'm going to be doing one badass tow truck. And you guys seen my tow trucks before. You guys know that's kind of one of my specialties, is building different style of tow trucks. And the 62 Chevy is one of my favorite trucks, so I thought I wanted to make it a tow truck. There was a lot of trial and error, like, when I was going through this part, the wheels I was going to use was going to be off of that muscle machines. They ended up, I guess, not working for what I was wanting to do, because I was going to end up putting the wheels on the outside of the bed, build some fenders to it. I ended up not doing that. I ended up going a different route and choosing some different wheels, and you'll see those later on in the video. But everything was going to plan, until I was trying to do the wheels, and it just wasn't, honestly, the wheels, putting them on the outside of the bed just wasn't looking right. So I had to change my whole idea, and me and my dad was talking when I was at his house, and he builds the 124 scale models, and I swear to you, I'm going to get some video footage of that and bring it up in one of my videos. He does some really good jobs with the 124 scale models. So, we was thinking, and, he's like, he goes, I love doing the models. I was like, yeah, I like doing my little thing with the Hot Wheels and the Matchboxes and stuff. He goes, but I get to this point where I look at it, I have something in my head, but I just don't know what I'm going to do to it. I was like, that's the problem I have. Is I'll look at something, I'll have a thought in my head of what I want to do, and I'm just like, how the hell am I going to do this? I don't know how I'm going to do this part, how it make it look this way, how I'm going to paint it. And usually, like in most of my videos, I end up starting a project, and then I start getting thoughts in my head throughout the video footage, and I'm gonna change it up a bit. I'm gonna do something different, kind of go a different route. And usually the other route I end up doing ends up turning out 10 times better. With this one, instead of because it honestly turned out better the way it turns out at the end of this video. I know a lot of you guys have been wondering what's been going on with me. I'm not very active on Instagram, hardly. I'm not doing a lot of stuff, but hopefully you guys get a chance to watch this and let me know what you guys think. See if I still got the custom, or if I kind of don't have it anymore. Because like I said, I started this yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. But the base, I found out what was going on because I cleaned out my airbrush really good, made sure it wasn't sticking, made sure it didn't have any paint buildup on the needle, and for some reason it still wasn't working right. So that's what made me think it might be my hose or my air compressor. So what I'm going to do, as soon as I get the chance, I'm going to order a whole new air compressor and some new hoses, because my air compressor's been sitting for a few months, so it might be that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a new air compressor, new hoses, and see if that helps me. I've been doing a lot of stuff trying to get my actual truck working. I'm working on getting that up and running. I'm having to put in a new water pump in it. I just put wheel bearings on it. I had some stuff done with transmission. I still got to get brakes and put all new tires on it. I got a long way to go with it. But, doing stuff to my personal truck and doing stuff to Hot Wheels, it kind of just gives me some ideas of stuff I want to do. The problem is, I'm trying to find a truck similar to the one I drive because I'd like to customize one to make it look like how I want my truck to look. And that's kind of an idea for you guys. What would your dream car be? And if you have a Hot Wheel of your actual vehicle that you drive or something similar to it, why don't we do that? Why don't we do a challenge where we take our vehicles or something close to it and actually make it into a Hot Wheel, or customize the Hot Wheel to look like the vehicle we want ours to look like? Because I'm going to end up painting my own truck. I've already got the rims that I'm going to be putting on it. Some black bullet style rims. Trust me, they're going to look good. And then I'm going to get a cow induction scoop put on it. I'm going to do some paint. I got to do some body work. I'm going to paint the tailgate. Put a mural on it or something. I already got a toolbox on there. Probably put like a light rack on the top. I don't know yet. Why don't we do that? If you guys want to do it, let's do that. Let's do that kind of like a buddy build throughout the community. Get a Hot Wheel close to either your dream vehicle or your personal vehicle that you drive now. Customize the Hot Wheel or the casting. It doesn't have to be a Hot Wheel. It can be a Greenlight. It can be, Auto World, M2s, whatever. Customize it how you want to if you were to own that vehicle and you had infinite money to build your own car. What would it look like? And that's a challenge I'm going to throw out there. There's no time limit on it, so you don't have to worry about it. You can actually look for the Hot Wheel or look for the casting that you want. Get the paint you want, get it ready, get it whatever you need to do. And just kind of throw it out there on Instagram. Tag my name in it on Instagram. Tag Caliber 50 Customs, and we'll go from there. I'm still looking for a casting similar, and I found a GMC pickup truck. Mine's a Chevrolet, but they're kind of similar with the extended cab and stuff like that. So I may or may not use that, but we'll just go with that and go from there. Other than that, that's the only thing I got to put out there. And like I said, there's no time limit. So you can be the title can be like my dream car, custom such and such, or, personal vehicle custom, or whatever, whatever title you can throw out there to put it in. Or if you've already done it, put some pictures up on Instagram. Let me know. Take a look at them. See what kind of ideas I can come up with. So we'll go from there. But other than that, you guys see the wheels I'm going with this thing now. Honestly, I think these wheels, if you look at it, honestly, it fits the body style so much better. It looks so much cooler. And I'm glad I just had these wheels just laying around, because I got tons of just random wheels laying here and there. So it helps having them around. I'm going to try my best to get back into the hobby. I'm going to try my best to put more video content out there so I can get back into the game. I really missed doing this. I missed, being part of the community and, seeing all those other customs. I don't watch YouTube as much as I used to, so I don't really see a lot of people's builds anymore. So I'm going to try to get back into that. So we'll get back to the build. As you see here, I had to redo the bars on it because I put those wheel wells over top of it from the actual original interior. So I cut them up and I put them over top so the wheels would fit in there. The casting is not much of a roller, and I think it's more just for like a display piece than a roller. So at least I didn't have to really try too hard to try to put it back together, or have to break anything when I would take it apart, put it together, test fit, that kind of thing. So that was a good part. I didn't have to do all that because I was able to maneuver it to where it'll pop out on its, pop out easily. So I didn't have to mess anything up. I'm kind of working on off camera of a 67 Chevy pickup off-road style truck, And I think that's kind of where I stopped at it, because I put it in a primer white paint and it just kind of stopped from there. Like, I haven't done anything, I guess because of the whole airbrush situation. But this is what we started off with. A nice, good casting of a 62 Chevy pickup. And yeah, I'm going to call it a lowrider because it's that low. One of my favorite castings. I'm really happy with the way this turned out, with including the paint, because I ended up having to hand paint it. So with everything that the process I had to go through, let's go ahead and check out the final results.
I'm taking it up higher. I'm taking it up higher. I'm taking it up a mountain. It's time to jump. My eyes got flickering flames. Up to the sky, make it rain. Breaking the frames, breaking the chains. Ain't nobody holding the reins. Turning it on, trigger the bomb. I got the world in my palm. Staying calm in the storm. Where I was born, I call it home. I'm hitting the hardest. I'm hitting the target. My cut is the sharpest. Seize in the moment. We got this.